Alright, in this video, I'm going to be going over every single new rework that's coming in Type Soul's big update. If you guys enjoyed the video, make sure to like and subscribe. And if I do sound different, that's because I'm sick right now. That's why I haven't uploaded much recently, but let's get right into the video. Alright, first rework we're going to be talking about is the ink rework. If I'm being completely honest, the only real reference to a ink rework that we have is a screenshot of Cetra posting an ink move with a flower move where he hinted at vagueness. We've already received a flower rework confirmation, so it's very likely that ink is also going to be getting a rework, and this is just because ink, despite the fact that it is really strong, is kind of just boring, plain. Like, nobody really likes to use it, and nobody really likes fighting against it. It's literally just the same exact move copied and pasted into three different things, being the crit, the Z, and the X. I think ink conceptually is going to be the same thing. Like, you're still going to be disabling your opponent and you're probably still going to be disabling their ability. So due to that, I think it's definitely just going to remain another strong ability. It's not going to look like it was made in 2014, if that makes sense. Like, I'm not going to lie, like, the current ink looks pretty lazily made. Like, aside from the Bankai is valid, but the base looks pretty trash. I'm not going to lie. Like, I don't know anything about development and I feel like I could make ink space. Like, if that makes sense, which I probably couldn't. But like, you know what I'm trying to say, right? From that, it might also take some brain power to land the ink moves, because the only thing stopping ink from being like the best ability in the entire game is the fact that all of ink's moves are close range aside from the C. And if you're a Hakuda user, it's just brain dead. Like, land one Hakuda combo, press C, and most of the time you're just guaranteed to get a free hit. So this will actually make it so your opponent is somewhat able to fight back against ink Hakuda users. Like, that build is so brain dead. But yeah, I can't really theorize on specific abilities that it'll have, just because I don't know much of what Ishibe does. I only watched the anime and I never actually read the Bleach manga, and I'm waiting for the anime to come back like most of us, so I don't want to spoil anybody either. So we're just gonna end this section off with that. Let's move on to the next one. Alright, now we're on to the flower rework, and this is easily one of the most hyped reworks of Type Soul's big update and the entire game. Flower is going to be getting likely a complete revamp, because I'm not gonna lie, current flower is kind of trash. It's just little to no damage. It's difficult to combo extend. The Z move, Blossom, is pretty mediocre. You just block the swords. The X move is overflow. You can't really counter. You can't really combo extend off of that, not counter. And the C move is just trash. I'm not gonna lie. Like, it is literally just free parries. Your opponent could just spam F in the middle of it. I know some people did try and argue like, oh, you're supposed to combo while using it, but you can't really combo while using it when I literally just spam F before you start your combo. And if you try and use it mid combo, I escape your combo and then I spam F. Like, it's really not that hard. It is a pretty trash move. The Bankai is pretty busted though, I'm not gonna lie. In Blood, Ice, and just about every other busted Bankai you can think of, and the Flower Bankai is the only one I quit on just because of how difficult it is. I've never seen an actual swordy player use it, so I'm not gonna lie, I haven't seen it that much, and that's why originally I did think it was kind of trash. However, if somebody's really good on Flower Bankai, I genuinely don't think it's possible to beat that shit. Like, it is really busted. So we're definitely going to be seeing the Flower base get changed. However, the Bankai may get some slight touch-ups, but if I'm being honest, they might just keep it the exact same, just because Flower Bankai is already pretty good and they might want to focus on other aspects. But at the same time, it depends. They could change it completely, just because I know Flower is pretty hype. But yeah, let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Let's move on to the next one. Alright, the next rework we're going to be talking about is Vizard and Let's. I'm going to just put this in the same category because I'm not 100% sure on the Let. But for Vizard, they're only going to be getting one passive now. If I had to guess, I think they're also probably going to make that singular passive slightly stronger, because I'm pretty sure Vizard before had 3 slightly weaker passives. So now they're just going to give us, you know, one passive, but it's going to be a bit stronger. They might also give Vizard specific abilities, because Cetra said obviously he doesn't want Soul Reapers to just get 3 basic flat buffs that make them a lot stronger. But like, Quincy's got boost variant, which gives you a rage regen, damage buff, speed buff, and defense buff, which is better than Vizard, and it's 50% higher than base. Then you got Siphon and Blood, which just give you different effects. Then Arankar's got hero variant, proficiency variant, and dodge, which sucks, and then Cero, which is busted. Vizard are just going to get one basic stat increase, and the best stat increase you could get, which was health, is going to get completely removed, which honestly that is kind of fair. I'm not gonna lie, health was kind of busted. But aside from that, like, Vizard is just going to be completely trash now. I'm not gonna lie. Like, they could just remove health and let us keep the 3 basic buffs in order to make Vizard, you know, able to compete with the other races. Or they could give Vizard something like a unique ability, like how the other races have stuff, right? Like, they could give Vizard its dodge variant, its proficiency variant, or something like that. Yeah, hopefully Soul Reapers don't get completely cooked by this update. I do have faith that they will, you know, hopefully keep Vizard still viable, and before the update drops, they do change it up slightly to actually make Vizard good without making it completely busted, you feel me? Alright, next thing I want to talk about is this brand new Let's rework, or I'm not 100% 100% sure if this is a rework or like an upgrade or something. Got to see 3 different wings for Let's. One was red, one was black, and one was white. I'm not 100% sure if this is going to actually be a rework. It could be like an upgrade to Let's, in which case they'll probably give every single race an upgrade. It could be something else, I'm not sure. We don't really know much about this, so I don't want to give it its own section. I don't really have much else to say about this, so let's just move on to the next one. Alright, now we're going to be talking about the biggest rework of this entire update, and that's going to be the Hakuda Rework. We haven't received too much major sneaks, however, we have received 4 sneaks. They are relatively minor, but let's go over all of them. The first move is a counter, as you guys can see here. He just does like a kind of like a sidestep, and then it doesn't really stun the opponent or do anything of that nature. It might teleport you to them because there was a slight effect after you got hit to it, but it's pretty basic. Seems like a really good move though, I'm not going to lie. Here's the next move. This is like a TP type of move. It's a video file was called Demon Step. The original video file that I showed prior to this was also called Demon, and in both of them he was using Hakuda, so I'm 99% sure this is going to be Hakuda related. But this is basically just like a TP gap closure type thing. I think the main reason they're adding this is just so Hakuda users can catch runners, because you know they're going to be having fist M1s. Those are going to have a lot less range, so if somebody just decides to zone you out like crazy, it's going to be difficult to deal with. So they do have a lot of gap closers in that sense. And now here is the final Hakuda move sneak. Alright, so this looks like a downwards kick kind of thing. This is probably a pretty decent combo extender. It might even ragdoll the opponent, which if it does, it is going to be incredibly busted. Like imagine this ragdoll kick into something like the Aragante grab, like this would go crazy. Aside from this though, we did not receive any information in regards to the Hakuda rework, aside from the fact obviously like everyone knows it's no longer going to be like an up tilt type clan. However, I could see Hakuda going crazy with certain builds like Aragante and Suzumabachi, where they have a lot of grabs that ragdoll. Like just looking off the moves that we've seen so far, like it's just going to be really nice for those types of builds, and that's what I think Hakuda should be good with. You know, the clans that are close up and have decent guard breakers. And I think this is definitely going to promote Hakuda players being a lot more aggressive, which is really good for the game and is actually going to help us have much more fun in rank matches. The only thing that needs to get nerfed now is the keto builds, bro, but that's a video for another day. Let's move on to the next section. Alright, now that we're done talking about the Hakuda rework, we're going to be talking about the Hakuda universals. I'm pretty sure all of them are getting reworked. Some of them may work with the new Hakuda, so they may not need changes. However, I'm 99% sure it will be reworked, and I can guarantee that the Arankar Hakuda universal, the keto thing, that is 100% getting a rework. That was confirmed already. Apparently, it is just too brain dead and boring, similar to Ink, where it's kind of just like, it's really good, so in that sense, it doesn't need a rework, but it's not really fun to use, and it doesn't really require too much skill, and you're not going to enjoy using it or fighting it, so there's no real reason to keep the current version of it in game. I believe it is the unstable thing. I bought it for a bit when it was pre-nerf, and I'm not gonna lie, that shit was genuinely unbearable to fight, along with the Quincy one. I hope the Quincy one gets reworked too, because that one is also really annoying to fight. But yeah, that's it for this section. Let's move on to the next one. The next rework we're going to be talking about is the Oathbreaker Rework. This is going to be a quick one because I'm not 100% sure what this is going to be, but it is confirmed that Oathbreaker, the Quincy weapon, is getting a rework or a slight revamp. It is probably going to be coming out next update because it was supposed to come out the update that got removed due to type slow shutting down. So yeah, let's just move on to the next one. Alright, next thing we got is the Twinblade Rework. So I'm not 100% sure if this is going to be a rework or a completely different weapon. However, Twinblade is completely dog shit. So either this is going to replace Twinblade or they're going to give Twinblade a revamp, because I'm not going to lie, if this comes out, which let me just show you guys the weapon real quick. Alright, so yeah, they said this weapon was going to be coming out in dungeons. However, it's literally just a better Twinblade. So if this does release, I hope they either give normal Twinblade something else or they just completely remove it from the game, because it will literally have no purpose, right? Weapon looks better in every possible way, and normal Twinblade is currently the worst weapon in the entire game. No matter what you look at it, the Ponkai weapon's the worst, the base is the worst, you can't even combo extend, you get punished for using it. Like, it's just terrible. So this is likely going to be a rework that's just gonna remove normal Twinblade out of the Soul Reaper weapon pool, if I had to guess, and then just put this instead, and now you're gonna be able to obtain it through dungeons, which seems really cool. And also dungeons, yeah, those are coming out. I'm probably gonna make a video on those by itself because I think we do have a good number of sneaks on it. I might wait for some more to drop, but let's move on to the final section of this video. Alright, the final section of this video, we're going to be talking about the brand new Clan Wars rework. There isn't really too much to it. Everything, including like the UI and the game modes, are just going to be improved. We don't really know what is specifically getting changed. However, there was one slight sneak of the game mode's loading queue, which let's go over that. Here is the sneak. I'm pretty sure the lighting of the map got a slight rework. We got a brand new GUI, and then there's the loading screen, which is right here. It's pretty much the exact same thing, I'm not going to lie. It looks slightly better though. However, functionality wise, I'm pretty sure the game mode works the exact same as well. Hopefully we do get some new Clan Wars game modes along with dungeons, because I'm not gonna lie, PvP is a big aspect of the game and Clan Wars contributes to that heavily, but like Clan Wars is kind of boring right now, so hopefully we do get some more game modes to that. But aside from that, there's also the brand new KT rework, which is worked on by my boy Lanray. Shout out to Windwake Studios, their Discord in the description below. But anyways, they added a TV that actually plays stuff. This is the only sneak I'm gonna go over, but this is low-key kind of sick. I'm not gonna lie, I did not expect them to add something like this. There's also a ton of map sneaks. I would be here all day if I went over each and every one of them, so I'm not gonna do that. That's it for today's video, man. Thank you for watching. Have a wonderful day. Make sure to like and subscribe, and goodbye.